If statistical records are indeed true reflection of societal realities, then the fact that 1 out of 10 people fall ill after eating contaminated food, while 420,000 die globally every year from unsafe food, justifies the quantum of attention that food, indeed the need for safe food, is enjoying globally on a day like this. Among others, what World Food Safety Day, being celebrated worldwide today, is designed to achieve is to project the multidimensional aspects of food other than its being a basic need of man. From international politics to economy and of course health and nutritional benefits, good food definitely holds a lot of significance for humanity. So, as much as time would permit, Panorama this day shall dwell on this year's celebration of World Food Safety Day and its importance for you and I. Don't forget, you can join this broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live. Don't forget, you can join this news broadcast on our website at nta.ng/alllive and on all our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. We shall hand over to Frama in Abuja to give us the latest from that end.
Thanks, Adiola. And here in Abuja, all eyes are in Eagle Square venue of the APC National Convention, which is expected to produce the next party standard bearer for the 2023 general election. And our correspondents are there to give us updates on the happenings. Now, we have Ekene Ndulue joining us live from there now. Ekene, can you hear me? Hello.
Hello, Frama. Good afternoon.
What is the situation right there?
Okay, not pretty much has changed since I spoke to you in the morning. We are still expecting the delegates, 2,340 delegates. But from information reaching us now, we understand that the delegates are being accredited at the International Conference Center as we speak right now. So in few minutes or maybe in few minutes time, we're expecting to see them coming in state after state. The stage is set, as you can see right behind me. Everything is set. The security men have taken their positions. Every other thing has been put in place. So far so good for now. We're expecting 2,340 delegates. And I have with me here a member of the Security and Compliance Committee. He will be speaking with us on how the security situation is around here. Okay, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
All right.
I'm a member of the Security and Compliance Committee, saddled with the responsibility of ensuring the safety and hitch-free convention. I'm the Assistant Secretary, and what you can see here today is culmination of all the strategies put in place to ensure that we have a hitch-free, seamless and sound convention. You know, the CNC will be here as well. Everybody will be here, the VIPs, the governors, the members of the diplomatic corps, the delegates, our party faithfuls, and indeed Nigerians. So it is our duty to ensure that this place is safe, this place is well coordinated, and we're working with all the necessary security agencies, and they are all deployed, they're all on ground, the police, DSS, the fire service, federal road safety, all of the agencies, and even the army in the outer cordon. So they're so far so good. We have ensured that there's no lapses. and we assure Nigerians, we assure party faithfuls that it's going to be hitch-free, it's going to be seamless to the extent to which human possibilities is. We ensure that we assure Nigerians that there will be no cause for alarm.
All right, I would like to know what measures have been put in place to ensure that those who do not have any business being here do not get access to come to this place.
Yeah, you could see this at the main gate here. What we did is to ensure that thoroughfare is free, the foreign affairs and that axis is blocked at the extreme and blocked at this other side. Of course, you know the other gate is strictly for the president and the vice president. So, and then there is diversions up onto the outer side of the foreign finance, you know, and the Court of Appeal side, and ditto to the Minister of Justice side. So it is well coordinated. Traffics have been rerouted. The FCT has been announcing it. The police are on ground, and we're also doing it taking cognizance of the fact that today is not a public holiday, so people must go about their businesses. So it has to be orderly, and we also crave the indulgence of Nigerians to also obey the security men when they direct them, so that there will be no fracas of any type. We don't expect it because they are cordial, the policemen are well trained, and they are doing it professionally. We have the assurances of the IG, we have the assurances of all the service chiefs that we'll have a seamless process, and I can assure you it's already midday, and no, so far so good.
All right, from you could hear from the Security and Compliance Committee member. I would also like to tell you that up till now we do not know what form the convention will take, if there is going to be a consensus candidate or if the 23 aspirants will still be on the ballot. Time will unfold all that.
All right, Ekene, thank you very much. We'll be expecting more updates from you as events continue to unfold. Now, to head back to Lagos, where Adiola is waiting for the continuation of Panorama.
Well, it was a long night for all the Progressives Congress governors on the eve of the party's special convention and presidential primary. And part of their strategic consultations informed this meeting with the National Working Committee at the party's National Secretariat behind closed doors.
As you are well aware, we have a national convention, and that is in respect of what.
Are we going on consensus candidates?
Not yet. I hope so.
Thank you. Thank you.
The party, Suleiman Argungu, interacted with the media on some decisions of the National Working Committee.
But it's not an issue that has been discussed on the floor of the NWC. And we have just, like you are all aware, just recently, about 2 days ago, the Northern Governors meeting had a meeting that the leadership of this country all Progressive Congress should go to the north, and equally the Southern Governors also affirmed that. So we, as members of the NWC, we are also with the governors on what they have said.
I will move on to say that the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has created a seamless process of registration for permanent voter cards for youths who have not been captured or persons whose cards are lost, damaged, as well as seeking a transfer in order not to be disenfranchised from the 2023 general elections. Lagos State Resident Electoral Commissioner Shegun Agbaje says the process has been deployed by the Commission to capture more eligible voters into the system. Abolade Salami reports.
Elections in Nigeria are mostly characterized by voter apathy violence, and rigging of results. In some instances, while a larger percentage of the country's demography is constituted by the youths who form bulk of the population, statistics from the Independent National Electoral Commission reveals that 51% of registered voters are youths, with less than 30% that participated in the 2019 elections. In bridging the gap, the electoral umpire through a concert show in Lagos is attracting the attention of youths on the need to register for their PVC.
We just want them to know that the artists they like, that they prefer, are going to be brought here. We don't want that one to be their only motivation. The motivation is that they love Nigeria, they love issue of politics and governance, and that they want to also participate and ensure that we have good election next year. Because it's also not just even about registering, to also prepare them ahead. Because you know from September when campaigns will start, we don't want them to be used to cause problems or violence, either during campaigns or during the election program.
To encourage more participation of the youths in electioneering process in the country, critical stakeholders are partnering with the umpire through advocacy and campaigns on the relevance of owning a permanent voter card in order to perform their civic responsibility.
But it's not enough for young people to be angry and vent, and this outrage on social media is very good. But it will not make any difference if you don't register, if you don't collect your PVC, and if you don't vote at the next election. So the next election is about young people, and young people must make their numbers count by coming out to vote.
The most important thing for me to come out here to do an adjustment on my card because of the 2023 election. I wanted to vote and I want my vote to count.
With the Youth Vote Count initiative, election observers are optimistic that registered voters' number will increase. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
You're watching Panorama on the network service of the NTA. Let's take a short break. More news when we return. But don't forget, you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at to know you're still with us. Environmental pollution and effects of climate change, for instance, all caused by man-made activities, destroy the balance of the ecosystem. One of the implications is species depletion and hardship for the very poor. Makoko, a slum and fishing community on the fringe of a Lagos lagoon, is a good example. As the global community marks World Environment Day, it provides another opportunity to highlight the associated challenges, particularly as the slogan for this year is a reminder that we have only one Earth, so need to live sustainably in harmony with nature. Jennifer Igwe tells us more.
Some of our seemingly inconsequential actions have a way of distorting harmony with nature. Dumping of waste in drainage channels and water bodies, including oil spillage, have adverse consequences, for instance, on the ecosystem, and in turn hit us hard. Makoko, a community along the Lagos Lagoon, is home to many fishermen. As the slum settlement grew, the magnitude of pollution bedeviling the area increased. The level of degradation there today is pushing fish species further down into the Lagos Lagoon and even to other conducive environments for good.
Now, before they see the fish now, they will put engine for boat to go far before they see the fish to kill.
It is not rocket science to realize the fisheries got tired of competing with the enormity of human and other waste that choke the marine environment.
This chemical and toxic waste into this natural they're supposed to help us dilute and remove waste from the ecosystem, but when you put it in large quantities beyond what the natural process can take, it leads to pollution and the death of fish, and most of them will now go into the deeper areas.
Fishermen are already experiencing frustrating scenarios that thwart their toils. Aggravating the scenario is climate change, which doesn't recognize the woes of communities and ecosystems with degradation.
At times you can buy a fuel of 40,000, 30,000. Instead of which you go in profit, you can the amount you can keep that it might not even up to 5,000.
Makoko is just one case. There are many others.
Education and awareness is very important. You have to live sustainably when you are using the natural ecosystem or resources within the ecosystem. You don't use it like you are the last generation. We give birth to children every day. What are we leaving behind for them? Is it a polluted ecosystem?
So individuals, communities, civil society groups, corporate organizations and government all have a part to play to check pollution and other environment unfriendly actions that can hinder us from living sustainably in harmony with nature. In Lagos, Jennifer Igwe, NTA News.
Now, what one eats has direct effect on such person's health. This makes promoting food safety paramount. It is against this background that the United Nations General Assembly set aside 7th day of June annually to mark the day with the aim of drawing global attention and mobilizing action to prevent, detect and manage foodborne risk and improve health. As the world marks this year's International Food Safety Day, Idachaba examines the level of food safety and preservation in Nigeria.
Uncontaminated food promotes good health. Little wonder, the United Nations tagged this year's World Food Safety Day, Safer Food, Better Health. This is an avenue to strengthen efforts towards ensuring that the burden of foodborne diseases is reduced, if not eliminated. How safe are foodstuffs in Nigeria, especially perishable farm produce?
If we want to ensure food safety, we must make sure that we fix our electricity problem. So those foods that usually get perished easily, we'll be able to store them in those cold rooms so that when the food are off seasons, we have on season foods and off season. For example, mango just left us, you understand? But when those fruits are off season, they will be able to bring out those foods they'll be able to store.
It should start from the farm. What kind of chemicals is being used on our food? Because it is adversely affecting the human health, degenerating our health, not helping us to live longer as we would love to. So we need to start rethinking the way we preserve our food in Nigeria. Can the policies around synthetic fertilizers and synthetic pesticides be changed a little bit? Can the government please look into it and see the pesticides that are not good for human health? Can it be banned to make sure that our farmers are there strictly to helping us eat good food right from the farm?
Findings by the World Health Organization, WHO, shows that foodborne diseases affect 1 in 10 people globally each year, ranging from mild to deadly. The good news here is that this can be prevented.
If people eat well, they will stay safe. A lot of illnesses are induced by malnutrition. It's really very important that people have this awareness that they should eat natural, because it will help you to naturally fight, build up your immune system and fight diseases.
Food Safety Day celebration was established in 2018 by the United Nations General Assembly. It is gently facilitated in collaboration with World Health Organization, WHO, Food and Agriculture Organization of United Nations, FAO, and member states and other stakeholders. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Now I'm being joined via Zoom from Abuja by the Director of Laboratory Management, Nigeria Agricultural Warranting Service, Ebenezer Idachaba. Thank you for joining us on Panorama.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Now, so many numbers that of victims have been attached to consumption of unsafe food around the world. This tends to underscore the importance of the theme for this year's celebration. So, in a world where many are only concerned about just getting something to eat, how important is food safety?
All right, thank you very much. So food safety is a very critical aspect of the total well-being of human beings. If food is not safe, the likelihood is for you to have a population that is consistently sick. And when you have a population that is sick, it means your productivity will definitely reduce significantly. Now, what happens is that contamination happens where food is not preserved the way it's supposed to be preserved. Beginning from production, we begin to look at how food safety concerns are taken care of. If you do not have good production from the field, it is likely that you will transmit disease that could cause food poisoning from the field to storage. And back in storage, when you do not do adequate and appropriate storage procedure, it is very likely that you again have those kind of contamination. Chief amongst these are issues of aflatoxin and issues of pesticide residue, which are becoming very, very serious challenges in the food security network. These are issues, these are poisons that can actually lead to very severe illnesses, and in extreme cases can actually lead to death. The concerns in the Nigeria Cultural Quarantine Service is to see that we bar as much as possible all those things that will lead to contamination, especially when it comes to mycotoxins as regards aflatoxins. The storage of oil seeds, which are very much affected by these things, are taken seriously. Ours is to do the advocacy and to bring to the knowledge of our stakeholders and the population that it is very important for you to do appropriate storage when it comes to these commodities.
Idachaba, sir, where do you belong in the debate about GMOs? And if we're going to have adequate food with or without GMOs, what policy would you advocate?
Yeah, GMOs, as it stands today, are organisms that have been tampered with or who are genetically modified. There's still a lot of debate going on that as to how safe GMOs are. The best way to go about that is for a country to have a policy on biosafety, where those kind of organizations will take a look at any commodity that has been designated as GMO and assess what the effect will be on the population if it is consumed. Now, the fear is that when you consume GMOs, it is likely that those genes that have been tampered with can come and begin to react in the human system and actually alter certain human operations. Scientifically, a lot of research is still going on to ascertain these assertions. But we know that in the plant world, when you alter genes, what you have done is to change the dynamics of the natural ecosystem. And when once that happens, it is likely that you have created an imbalance in the ecosystem. And when once that happens again, it means that there are likely to be offshoots of other effects arising from this alteration. If insects are supposed to feed on certain kind of plants and you are making it difficult for them to feed on those plants, what they got to do is to find alternatives to that. And when once that happens, you will have an outbreak because they are now moving from their natural eco-feeding systems into other that are not usual to them. And so that creates a lot of imbalance. So when we begin to have issues of emerging pests and other issues of rampant indiscriminate infestation there and there, it's as a result of certain imbalances that have been created in the ecosystem.
So, quickly before I let you go, how do we get the next generation to embrace food safety? Quickly.
Very well. What we need to do is to relatively go back to our ways of doing things. Let's eat as natural as possible. Avoid as much of storage food and leftover foods as much as possible. Because a lot of these things, when they're going into processing and they are stored, they need to have expiry dates. And once they exceed this date, it's likely that they become poisonous. So let's do more of the green feeding and habit of eating straight from the field rather than on preserved issues. And when we have to eat preserved things, it is our responsibility to be sure that these things are not contaminated and they are preserved under ambient and normal environment that will not lead to any kind of
Thank you so much, Ebenezer Idachaba, the Director of Laboratory Management, Nigeria Agriculture Warranty Service, for your insights on Panorama today. We thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
And that's Panorama this edition. We thank you for sharing your time with us. Do remember that you need to join the NTA to stand against rape and rapists. I am Adeola Komiakiri. Enjoy the rest of your day.